Welcome to Witch Yes, a podcast for casual conjurings, witches in training, and amateur archaeologists.
I'm Alicia Herder.
And I'm Terra Keck.
On today's episode, Numerology, witches in the news, and a spell for your summer travels.
Aloha! All right, it's summer. We're sweating. The windows are closed. The fans are off, and I'm fucking moist.
Fucking hot. It is wet in here.
It's wet.
Also, we are in Tara's new bedroom.
Double new bedroom.
Double new bedroom.
Look at all this space.
She moves once a month these days.
Look at my arms.
I know, we're not like touching the walls.
One over here. One over there.
It's pretty wild. Major step up from like your cupboard.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm not living that Well, I guess I'm Harry Potter once he's been to Hogwarts.
It's basically a whole dorm.
Yeah.
And you're treated as the prince. Since, you killed he who must not be named. So it's like
I'm the boy who lived.
You're the boy who lived. And he was like an heir. He had like money in the fucking bank.
He did, right? And I was like,
why don't we talk about Harry Potter's generational wealth? That's really a conversation we need to get into.
Because you know that wealth like that cannot be amassed without people taking advantage of other people, right? So what were the Potters really a part of?
Well, they were spies, right? So they were all about narking on everyone. Narking and getting money.
What a great start this is.
We're doing really well.
The heat's getting to me.
It's great. It's great. Very moist, very wet. Wet and wild in here, not in the hot way.
Well, you are glistening, but you're also glowing.
I am glistening.
Look at your shoulders. They are really like beautifully tan.
It is peeling. So I got sunburnt. Remember how we were like, if you go outside for Litha, wear sunscreen. Well, I wasn't outside for Litha. I was outside the day before Litha. And I put sunscreen on, but I was at a beach, and beaches don't care. They do not care. So I was like beet red. I have this really amazing like tan.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh.
It's like a bra tan. But I guess the one good thing that came out of it, because it hurt so much, is someone said, well, if you're like a lobster, that means you're expensive. And I was like, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm fucking expensive. That's right. Look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me, please.
The treatment for your skin cancer is going to be real expensive.
It's going to be really expensive. Every year, man, I'm like, not this year. And then it happens. And I'm like, how?
I genuinely thought you were wearing a white bra.
Really? Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. Oh.
Remember when we were bitching about like how cold it was and now it's hot and
like
we're just
4
like
episodes
equally as
ago?
miserable?
Like genuinely.
Can we like ever be happy?
No, I mean,
No.
I can't. You know what my moon's in.
That's true.
Have you seen my Venus?
It's wild. It's wild. Speaking of Litha, when we talked about it on our episode, we mentioned that it was a good time to check resolutions and see how you're doing and stuff. So I wanted us to check in about the resolutions we set on New Year's Eve and figure out if we're leading ourselves to disappointment or if we're...
We recorded that episode like a month in advance.
We did.
So
we weren't ready to check our resolutions at that point.
But now we are.
But now we are.
Or Alicia's decided that we are.
I have decided that
She's got some things to tell us.
We are
Listen
ready.
up. Everybody sit down, grab a cold one, and let's listen to how great Alicia's life is going.
Thank you. So one of my goals was to work out consistently, and I did not do too well on that, but I am doing better now. I think I needed to be at work for a month, like away from New York, to be like, all right, I'm going to get my shit together when I go back to New York. So it's day 6 of having my shit together. So far, so good. I think it takes 14 days to make a habit, like 14 solid days. Also, the gym has air conditioning, so you know.
Right. Yeah, it's like a little tiny spa in there right now.
Second thing on my list was to take a stand-up comedy class. Have not done that. Skip that.
Fuck it. Pass.
Pass. Third thing, continue creating Witch Yes. Bitches, guess what?
Guess what we're doing right now?
Guess what we're doing right now? It's still going. And even if we're not consistent sometimes, we're still doing it.
Yeah, it's really, it's about perseverance, right?
Yes.
We will not continue recording Witch Yes because it is easy, but because it is hard.
It is very hard. That guy. So how are your resolutions going?
Well, one of my resolutions was to get ripped and get a fat ass so that Jason Momoa would love me.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really doing.
Okay. Even though the air conditioning is in the gym?
Yeah, and I never canceled my membership. I think there's something about going back after a long time not being there where I feel like an exceptional amount of shame, and I don't know if when I scan my little Planet Fitness card, the man's going to be like, "Oh, I see you haven't been here since January, and you only came 3 times."
I actually read an article, and they do not track how often members come.
Okay.
Like specific members, so they won't know that you weren't there for 5 months.
Okay, so there goes one of my excuses.
Yeah, that's one.
The other one is that I just don't have that much underwear right now.
That's fair.
So if I sweat through it and then I have to change again for the evening, that's 2 pairs of underwear in one day, and I just do not have the money on my laundry card for that.
Okay.
At this moment.
That's the best excuse I've heard.
Yeah. But honestly, moving into this new place where I have greater access to a kitchen or not turbulent access to a kitchen, which sounds cryptic.
It is cryptic. Continue.
It's changed my relationship a little bit to my body and a little bit to food.
Mean you're actually eating, or?
Well, yeah. I'm cooking.
That's good.
And eating things that I wouldn't normally get to eat.
Okay.
And up until this point in my life, I've not enjoyed cooking. I've enjoyed baking, but I've never really enjoyed cooking in the sense that it's I'm going to spend half an hour for something I'm going to spend 15 minutes eating, right?
Oh, wow, 15.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to pace it out.
Yeah, I mean,
because you're I've spent so much money and time chopping these garlics and these onions and these arugulas, eating more fruits, just being able to linger, I guess. I don't know, in the kitchen and have more complex meals instead of just ordering takeout. Having
Which is
to order
delicious.
so much. It's delicious, but I can feel it in my body.
Yeah.
Where I'm oh.
You're carrying it the whole time.
I carry it all day. My other one was I think I talked about how for so long my New Year's resolution was to practice listening.
Yes.
Which I always, I still do. But my other New Year's resolution was to practice being okay with voicing my opinions, making my opinions known, and giving to communities and groups and stuff like that, which I honestly I feel I've been trying a lot over the past few months to do, and I do not feel it's been received that well, if I can be kind of brutally honest. I feel even today at work it was kind of oh, I'm a woman, I'm a small woman with a small voice, and up to this point, the system and the structure of my relationship to the people I work with have been set for so long, and that I have performed this role as supportive. And now that I very much am actively trying to become someone that elevates and pushes forward whatever we're doing, there is the sense that I am overstepping my boundaries sometimes.
From yourself or from others?
Obviously, I live inside my body, so I can only think from my perspective. That, this is what I think other people are thinking, and I'm not a psychic, so... Except, I do think that my opinions are valued by other women. I think that other women in my life, honestly, have been more receptive.
Yeah.
I do not think the men in my life have been. And that is disappointing, but it's also, telling of how, up to this point, how I have carried myself, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
I'm I've created this environment where this is up to this point, I have performed this role.
Maybe you need to have a Grease moment and just become bad girl Sandy.
Dude, maybe.
And just be fuck off.
I really like the way that Corinne Fisher from Guys We Fuck talks about the industry and talks about women in business. And how we spend so much time thinking about how other people receive us and how other people are feeling that we actually don't we don't have enough space in our brains, we don't give enough time to our own personal projects and stuff like that. And how fucked up that is, and how when we work against that or try to push up against that barrier that we're viewed as a bitch.
Yeah.
And I really hate that there are people out in the world that think I'm a bitch.
Or maybe you just need to embrace the bitch.
Honestly,
and this is from someone who has pretty much just embraced the bitch.
Yeah. And I've always admired that about you. A great deal.
I was listening to the Lady Sovereign song earlier today, Love Me or Hate Me. And the lyric is, if you love me, thank you. If you hate me, fuck you. And I'm like, that's me.
That's me.
That's me. I love that.
You sing about me? Do I get rights? Do I get money from this song?
Hey. Also, I have to show you a picture of my niece. Literally, look at her.
Oh.
They put her in like a fucking tub of that milk bath water, like a goddamn sophisticated model. She's wearing a fucking bow. That bitch has no hair. She looks amazing. I am so impressed and so proud. She has to be a Gerber baby. That's it.
Like, she's in a tub, and she has both of her arms, like, to the... Like, she's sitting in a fucking hot tub. Like, she's a fucking CEO.
Yeah.
Like, looking up at, like, one of her many bitches.
I love that. That's who I want to be. I want to be this child.
I like texted Alicia, and I was like, how is it that your brother Kyle had any hand in creating this beautiful child?
I like what Marcel said. He only assisted. I'm like afraid that I can't have children now because what if it's uglier than Charlotte, you know? Like, there is actual real competition.
There is, right. Yeah, and she set the bar high. There is one more thing before we go. I'm so
Let's
sorry.
continue.
One more thing.
Yes.
And I'll make it really fast. Okay, so I don't know how many of you are politically active, and I don't know how many of you are in America or the U.S. of A. So, to qualify for the next Democratic national debate, participants are required to hit 2% in 4 approved polls released between June 28th and August 28th. But they also have to collect contributions from a minimum of 130,000 unique donors. That's like individual people, okay?
I don't
By
have to donate money yet.
August 28th. So these are the people that have already qualified. So if you're only interested in these people, then don't worry about it. Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Pete Buttigieg are the only ones who have qualified so far. So if you want to see anyone else, all you have to do, this is all you can do basically. There are going to be these polls that come out or have already started to come out between June 28th and August 28th. And you're just going to participate in those polls. That takes nothing.
Okay.
And then you're going to donate $1. It can be as much as $1 to the participant that you want to see back on that stage.
Not less than $1. $1.
I mean, I don't know, but my idea is that, like, you're just going to donate $1. And that doesn't mean that, like, I mean, you can donate to multiple people. This is just, I want to hear these people talk about their plan. If you're interested in anyone else besides basically all these pretty established people, that's what you're going to need to do. And you have until August 28th to do it. Okay? Okay. So, business aside.
Business aside.
All right. So, Alicia, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about fucking numbers.
Numbers? I don't want to listen to the numbers.
Neither
I'm
do
about
I.
feelings and emotions.
Yeah, guys, just turn off the podcast now. We're talking about numerology.
Ooh, math.
Man.
How'd you do in math?
Depends when I took it. What level of math?
I did really good at geometry.
I did not.
I did very bad at all others.
I did very good at the one math course I had to take in college because I studied very hard.
Yeah.
And I got an A.
Oh, good job. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I like really killed the game then. Here I am.
And this is where it got you. You too can host a podcast in a bedroom. You too can.
Too can you.
All right, so show me the numbers. Show me the evidence. I want to see the science.
All right. So, what the fuck is numerology? So, numerology is the belief in the divine or mystical relationship between numbers and reality. Numerology studies the numerical value of the letters in words, names, and ideas. They can divine meaning from numbers and dates. Example, your birthday, 9/11. Are those the only dates we know? Those are the only ones in our example. Christmas? My cat's birthday. That's still a birthday. Fuck. I don't know any other dates.
Remember, the 5th of November.
Okay, I know that one. Wait, what year was that? 17. I don't know.
When was the Alamo? Those are the only things I can remember.
I don't remember what the fuck the Alamo is. The car rental agency?
No. It was like
Tell me.
in Texas during the Mexican-American War, and there was a battle there, and the Alamo itself was like some sort of structure that they fought in, and it was the Americans fighting in Texas. Anyways.
Anyways.
And I think Davy Crockett was there.
Was he made up?
Well,
who had the ox? The
That's
blue ox.
Paul Bunyan.
What are the names? How did I get here? Ooh, it's hot, isn't it?
I know. We're melting.
Ooh.
We're spiraling.
Okay. Oh, if anyone cared, it's November 5th, 1605. Guy Fawkes Night. Put it in your calendar. And it's not super uncommon for numerology to be used alongside astrology and other similar divinatory practices.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky. I think we mentioned the use of numerology in certain tea leaf reading practices.
I think so. Like in the cups, like they had those like specially designed cups where they were like on the inside are like astrology things, or they can be like the numbers of suits, or they can be numerology, stuff like that. It seems to me, and I may be ignorant, but it seems that like all of these different kind of divinatory practices can weave in and out of one another, and it really just is about creating more substance to whatever you're interested in.
The only thing I remember from that episode is getting the tea leaves stuck in my teeth.
Oh yeah, and they tasted real bad.
I don't even remember what I got.
It's been months. I have all of that tea still.
Ew.
I know.
I mean, it smells nice, I guess. So numbers are the universal language. So allegedly everything in the world is dependent upon the mystical properties of numbers. And these properties come from the number's cosmic vibration. Kind of like crystals, vibrating qualities, things that vibrate.
So when people talk about like vibrational levels, and like maybe we can even like go into this in a separate episode, like there are these different kind of vibrational levels like cosmically, and that like you as a living creature can psychically activate or sort of navigate these vibrational levels. So a low vibrational person is often someone that is interested in pleasures of the flesh, not necessarily like super sexual, but like pleasures of the flesh, like drugs and like violence, and like, you know, so much of their immediate response to the world is anger, which is low vibrational, or like deep depression, which is low vibrational. And then high vibrational people or high vibrational emotions are active things, things that propel you forward, things that are positive. High vibrational people tend to be highly spiritual, not necessarily religious, but highly spiritual and like moving, complex, amorphous. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like,
I've just never heard of this before.
really? I like, well, 100% anytime I have like a bad interaction with like someone in customer service or like someone on the train, I'm like just having a low vibrational day. Their vibrations are low, my vibrations are high, and I cannot allow their vibrations to leak on top of me. So it seems that also numbers have a relationship to this. And I thought it was really interesting. That kind of relates into our next topic, which is like, where does this come from? So we're going to go way, way back. Okay, close your eyes.
Past
We're
Guy
going
Fawkes
into
Day?
the past. Ooh, super past.
Super past.
Jesus ain't even born yet. Dude, super old, stinky, dirty, dusty.
Dinosaurs?
No,
No.
later than the dinosaurs.
Okay.
Earlier than Jesus. We're going back to ancient Greece.
Okay,
Ooh,
that's a
man.
sweet spot.
Ooh, that good spot. Unless you're a woman or a person of color. So,
Yes.
Pythagoras, the triangle guy, is the guy that came up with numerology. He was an ancient Greek philosopher from like 569 BC. And yeah, he's like the guy from math class. And he became interested in numerology because he created this connection between music and numbers. He discovered like the numerical relationship between how string instruments vibrate and the scales. And also, I don't know if this is a myth. It was like in a play that I saw one time, but like he was also like really big into vegetarianism. So I was like, all right, Pythagoras, I see you, Thag. I see you.
I don't care if it's a myth. It's fact now.
So Pythagoras and his followers became interested in the mystical potential of numbers after discovering that if you added up any series of odd numbers, beginning with the number 1, the result is always a square number. So it's like there's all of these like math. It has all of these different kinds of systems set up where there are absolutes. And you talked about earlier that math is the universal language because math doesn't change between, you know, my language, English, to Chinese, to Sinti, to German. I mean, there's a reason that on like all of the probes that we send out into space, like we talk about math. I mean,
Aliens know math too.
aliens would know math, right? Like it's obvious. 1, singular. Like the concept of 1, the concept of 0. Anyway, So Pythagoras believed that mathematical concepts were more practical than physical ones and came to the conclusion that anything and everything can be described in terms of numbers and proportions. And they came to this idea that all is number. All is number.
So this is like one of those like coloring books where there's a number and you have to color based on that number.
Except that number and that color says something about you and what's wrong with you.
Oh,
Cool. Well, let me tell you all your faults. Anyway.
please continue.
And so one of the other things that I thought was really interesting, and maybe this is like sort of romantic of me, but I thought it was interesting that Pythagoras thought that it was up to humans to discover the divine nature of numbers. It was like one of our quests as human beings that we were put on this earth to like discover and decipher this like magical cipher of numbers. And I was like, oh, wow.
Tara, this man sounds like a fucking nerd.
Hey, but he grows a good beard.
So do a lot of
I bet
very
he
bad
loves-
men.
I bet he loves IPAs and good music too.
I bet he would. I bet he would.
All right, so like, how does this shit work? Basically, through a series of different systems that we're going to talk a little bit about later, these systems have diverse meanings. You take an existing name, date, idea, event, whatever, I don't care. You assign a number to the letters if there are letters, add them up, and you'll get a single digit number, and that single digit number has some shit to say.
Excellent. Good.
The different systems, and I'm not going to go into all of them because they're cuckoo crazy. The first one is Pythagoras numerology, which is a method that uses an individual's name and date of birth. The name number reveals the individual's outer nature, so kind of like your rising.
Okay.
And then
I can follow.
And then your birth number reveals your inner nature. So that's like your moon and then potentially also like your sun.
Okay.
They also have master numbers, which do not get reduced to a single digit. So it's like 11, 22, and 33.
Are those the numbers?
They are quote unquote master numbers, which like if they show up in, okay, like I did so much research and there are so many different ways of doing this. Some people were like, if 11 comes up, like you should pay attention to that 11 and 11, 22, 33 like has something to say about that. But then you also need to get to like your single digit number. But if you end up like after coming down all the way to an 11, it's like bananas.
Yeah.
Like I
That
can't.
sounds like a lot.
I'm like, how do you have time?
I don't know.
Do you not have a job?
Probably not.
So there's also alphabetic numerology, which assigns numbers to letters with the alphabet and then divines meaning from those numbers. And they're actually really prominent in some Jewish traditions that your words have mystical meaning due to their numerical significance. So like the words that you speak or certain like mystical or spiritual phrases have numerical value, and it is from that numerical value that they derive their significance. The Chaldean or Chaldean system, which like I was gonna go into, but it's like
Bonkers.
like Babylonian, and they only use 1 through 8, and I was like, we don't need to do this. But they also kind of had to think about like the power of words and like the vibration of words.
Okay.
And the other one that I thought was really interesting is Chinese numerology. So if we define numerology as attention to the mystical power of numbers, Chinese numerology is the oldest form of numerology, but Chinese numerology does not incorporate math and addition. So if numerology is an umbrella, all of these other systems are underneath that umbrella and then have umbrellas underneath them.
Okay.
So Chinese numerology is underneath numerology, but then has its own systems within it. And then Chinese numerology seems to be primarily concerned with lucky numbers and unlucky numbers, as opposed to like deciphering codes. And they are characterized as good or bad based on homophones.
Okay.
So Alicia and I took Mandarin Chinese in college.
We did.
Like Dui Bu Chi all the way
Dui Bu Chi, baby.
to all of our witches.
Dui Bu Chi for this conversation.
So the number 3, okay, so it's like tonal, right? So it's like there's san and then there's sheng, which means to live or life. So it's considered a good number. But san is also similar to san, which means to split or to separate. So it's also a bad number, which I was like, what is it?
You guys got to choose.
Gotta pick
The
one.
Chinese
pick
are
a
too
side.
smart for this to happen.
They're too complex and I cannot get on their level.
A choice needs to be made.
But the easy one, I think, to understand is the number 4.
Okay.
So, ci is considered an unlucky number in Chinese because it is a clear homophone to the word ci, which means death.
Damn.
Ci is like our equivalent of number 13, where it actually doesn't show up in a lot of building. My roommate Casey, friend of the pod Casey, was talking about how in Taiwan, like there will not be like a number 4 floor in buildings.
Ooh, spooky.
So it's like, it's very real. Like it's a very much like a part of like understanding that world. So I thought that was really interesting. So there are all these systems.
I don't want to do all the math, so what math should we focus on?
I put down Chinese numerology because I'm not Chinese.
Yes.
And I put down alphabetic numerology because I'm not Jewish, and also Pythagorean numerology incorporates alphabetic numerology.
Okay.
So I was like, this has like puzzles. So we're going to look at just Pythagorean numerology, but I want you to know that like if you are interested in these other systems, like we can totally look into it. And like if you want us to talk about them, you should DM us and let us know like, hey, I want to know what this Babylonian numerology is all about. And then maybe we'll do a mini-sode about it.
Yes, slide into our DMs, baby.
Bitch, I don't got time right now to do a whole episode about everybody.
I mean, this is about numbers, guys. So like really consider if you want to hear more.
Okay, so we're doing Pythagorean numerology. And I wanted to tell you how you're supposed to use these fucking numbers.
Okay.
For like actual things in your life.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So number 1, there's a life path number. So this is the path of your life and what you're going to be working on in this life. This uses your birthday and identifies your skills and abilities, the negative traits that you must balance, and even the motivation and purpose of your life. So you take your birthday. What's your birthday?
October 29th, 1991.
So you're going to add up the month, the date, and the year separately, and then you're going to add those numbers together. So you're not taking 10 plus 29 plus 1991. That's stupid.
That's
I
dumb.
don't personally think it's stupid. It makes sense to me. But what you're going to do is 1 plus 0 for the 10,
Okay.
2 plus 9 for the 29, 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 1 for the 1991.
Okay.
Then you're going to keep adding until you get to a 2-digit number.
Okay.
And I want you to hold on to that number and you're going to write it down.
Okay.
That's not your life path number, but it is important. Pay attention to it.
Okay. So my number's 32.
Your number is 32.
Got it.
Then you're going to take that 32 or whatever that 2-digit number, add that together. It's going to create a single-digit number, which is going to be your life path number. And that should be a 1 out of 9 unless that 2-digit number was a master number, 11, 22, or 33. Okay?
Okay. Which is not me.
Which is not you. So you can Google whatever your life path number is. But again, just to reiterate, 11, 22, 33, that's fine. You keep that number. That's going to have its own system.
Don't touch it.
Don't fucking touch it. You're special, okay? We all get that you're special, Marissa.
Special. Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be similar to like your regular horoscope, what it says about your personality, difficulties, weaknesses, strengths, ways that you shine.
Perfect.
That 2-digit number, though, the one that you did before you reduced it down to the single-digit number, that's your karmic debt number.
What does that mean?
When you're doing the math, if that number is 13, 14, 16, or 19, that is a karmic debt number. And it doesn't just show up in your life path. It can show up in anywhere within your numerical chart.
Okay, cool.
And that is going to inform what that debt is. So if that debt is in your life, whether it's in like your heart, whether it's in like your family, that debt is something that you have done in a past life, which like we're going to need to talk about that eventually, like past lives and stuff. But it is a spiritual debt that you have accumulated. And to make up for those past errors, your life may have additional turbulence to learn those lessons. So it may clue you into why you have a hard time with relationships, why you might have some sort of like substance abuse in your family, if you have a karmic debt number in your family number.
So, but there's only 4 numbers.
But there's only 4 numbers. So
I'm good.
You're fine.
I'm basically enlightened.
32 is good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like you're basically the Buddha. But
I'm basically there.
This is just your life path number. So
Okay.
you may have it somewhere else in your chart. The expression or destiny number is coded by your full name. So some sources went back and forth on whether it has to be the name on your birth certificate. And here's what I want to say.
Tell me.
I'm getting up on my soapbox.
Good.
Instead of 5'2", no, I'm 5'6".
She's standing.
Here I am. I'm grabbing the mic.
Grab it. Don't drop it. They're expensive.
If using the name on your birth certificate gives you gender dysphoria or hurts you in any way, maybe when you were 18 you changed your last name to your mom's last name because your dad fucking sucks. Or maybe your birth name is Samantha, but your name is actually Eddie. I want you to use whatever fucking name you use, right? Like and people go back and forth on whether or not it's your chosen name is more important because your destiny is like a choice that you choose every day, or like the name that your parents gave you is like more important because it is like this path that you were set upon. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just choose a fucking number. Choose a name. Choose a number. Call it a day.
Call it a day. It's like witches live in the fucking woods because the rules and strictures of man could not contain us. And Pythagoras is fucking dead. So like, go fucking cry about it, okay? Like, just what I want you to do is feel good about these numbers.
Do we think Pythagoras was his real name?
Was it?
I don't know.
I bet he was a Chad. So to decode your destiny number, just like Google numerology alphabetic chart, they assign a number 1 through 9 to each letter. Then you're just going to like add those motherfuckers up. So I went through and did Alicia Marie Herder.
That's me.
And it's a 13939141959859459. And then your destiny number is 4, but then you had a karmic number of 13.
Scale of karmic debt.
Like, Google it, man. I don't fucking know.
So I didn't know this was a thing.
There's a bunch more numbers, just like in your chart. There's more than like your sun and your moon. There's the name ruling number, the family ruling number, the soul number, or the heart's desire number, which is based on vowels in your name. The potential number, the maturity number, the main challenge number, or the third challenge number, the happiness number, the inner dreams number, which is based on the consonants in your name, and then the planes of expressions number. There's like probably more numbers that I don't even know about.
Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy.
I would just take an evening, get yourself a glass of wine and a calculator and do some math. Like, get real sexy about it.
Are we still talking about numbers?
No, it's time.
Are we done with the numbers?
Are you done? Are you ready to be done with the numbers? Because I'm.
Ooh, got a little.
It's
got
urgent.
A little wonky that
Urgent.
time. All right.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, witches. First on the docket, owner of Britain's most haunted house tries to sell this former witch jail. In Essex, hello UK. Lots of problems in the UK. They keep popping up, you know. In Essex, this residential building, formerly known as The Cage, is now on the market. Vanessa Mitchell has owned the building since 2004 and is ready to give it up.
What?
She claims that there are evil spirits living inside the building. Back in the 16th and 17th centuries, the cage was used to hold women, men, and children who were accused of witchcraft. The cage held the accused who were part of the St. Osyth witch trials back in 1582, which is very, very similar to the Salem witch trials of America. Essentially, one woman was accused of witchcraft and had to name names. 3 were known to have been killed by these witchcraft accusations. The building is on the market for $476,000 USD, and although Vanessa Mitchell is now selling it, she has not lived in the building for 15 years. Apparently, there was an occurrence of mysterious blood spatterings and several ghost sightings, including a satanic-looking goat, which is why she fled.
What is a satanic-looking goat?
I think it's just a black goat.
Right.
That, like, has the devil speak through it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't say satanic-sounding goat. She said satanic-looking goat, which I think is profiling.
You know, but in her defense, have you ever looked a goat in the eyes?
No, I'm not an idiot. I know they'll take my soul.
Okay, soul gone. They're terrifying. Their eyes, their pupils are like up and down slits.
Yeah, I don't know where they're looking.
I don't know how much they can even see.
They could probably see all.
Yeah. So, Tara, you want to buy a house?
Okay, but how much?
$476,000. That's it. I bet if you stopped paying rent.
How's your credit?
It's okay.
I'm in the 600s. So I might be able to get not a great loan. Are we going to live there? Are we going to invite Ghost Adventures?
We're going to do our Ouija episode there. Yes. Yeah, I guess lots of news crews come all the time just to film the ghost sightings.
That's so creepy.
It sounds like a great investment.
Yeah, and we probably make a lot of money.
It sounds like something that kind of just needs to be burned to the ground because it's obviously
and
haunted.
Like released, yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like, okay, here, quick aside, what are the ethical boundaries of like ghost houses, haunted houses, ghost adventures, when like there are things that release supposedly allegedly ghosts from being trapped on this earth. Like, couldn't you go in and, like, instead of filming ghost activity for your TV show on HBO, could you maybe just, like, go in and help those ghosts move on to the next life?
Oh, like a Casper kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what? This sounds like a great reality TV show.
It's like
It's
Queer
like The
Eye
Biggest
for
Loser.
ghosts.
Oh, for ghosts.
We're going to help you get your life back on track.
Queer Eye for ghosts. Maybe. Maybe. All right, ready for the one that's going to ruin you?
No.
Yes. 3 years later, the child who was left to starve because he was a witch. All right, you've probably seen this picture of this kid a few years back, although you may not have known exactly what was happening there. So a Nigerian child, now by the name of Hope, was rescued by a Danish nonprofit organization that I'm only going to say once, and I'm going to say it wrong, and it's like Dino Diel. I tried. Back when he was a starved toddler.
Good job.
So, Tara, click on that link and look at this picture of him when they found him, and I will allow you to have that reaction.
It's loading.
Okay.
Oh, baby, so small. Oh, naked baby.
Yeah.
Naked baby in the streets.
Yeah.
You can see his rib cage. Oh, God, he's so small. Look at his legs. Oh, God, the way he walks, he's still small. Oh, God, no. He had worms.
Yeah. Okay, you can stop now.
Okay.
I think they got the point.
Okay, so they took him and gave him a new name.
Yes. So when I was doing initial research on this, I watched a YouTube clip where this kid that you just described, which is as horrifying as she just described, was just like walking around like little kids do, and he just like fell on the ground. And I like started crying because he's literally just skin and bones. And I was like, did he break?
Yeah.
Like, I was so concerned in that
I was
moment.
like, his chest, his rib cage is fully exposed, and then there is one, like, you can see his spinal. It's like as if he has no organs, as if his organs have moved completely into his chest for protection.
It's so sad.
Oh, God.
So sad. Anyways, he's healthier now. He lives at the orphanage that organization runs in Nigeria, and he is happy and healthy, and he looks so fucking fly. Like, he looks good, and it's truly heartwarming to see such a transformation happen. I know we talk a lot about elderly people being accused of witchcraft, but it also happens to children as well. In rural areas of Nigeria specifically, children can be accused of witchcraft by a family member, people from the village, or even a priest. So normally the accusations do not come from the child's parents. However, once the child is accused, the parents have to take the child to witch doctors or exorcisms. And then, of course, all of this costs money, and it puts the whole family at risk of like being murdered.
Oh, my God.
By like having this child who other people have deemed are a witch. So this accounts for the parents being forced into abandoning their child, who are now left to fend for themselves on the streets. And like, that's unfortunately what happens to the lucky children. Other children accused of being witches are at risk of being beaten to death, burned alive, buried alive, or even beheaded.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So it's a very serious accusation, and almost crueler than the elderly people being killed, because no one has motivation to kill a baby.
No, baby's not going to do anything
They
to you.
haven't done
That's
anything.
a baby.
They don't own land. There's really,
Yeah, and
it's
they
very
don't own
sad.
land. What does this do for you? How do you gain anything from this?
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know.
God.
And it just all comes down to superstitions of witchcraft and how different they are depending on what part of the world you live in. But I'm very happy for baby Hope. Apparently he's on their little track team.
Oh, that's so cute.
At the orphanage, yeah.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
He's
God,
so
Hope.
cute. I know.
Oh, God. I don't know how many more of these stories about people being taken advantage of. It's like every episode.
Yeah.
And I am just overcome with how no one is talking about.
It's such a niche thing, though. Like, it's kind of like you wouldn't know about it if you're not actively looking for it.
But it seems it's like it's so prevalent.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's killing babies and grandmas and moms, and like,
Yeah.
it blows my mind. God, please, can we
Go on to something happier?
please?
All right.
I love the sandwich.
I love this compliment sandwich. Good, bad, good. All right, so let's get to the next piece of bread.
It's a Reuben. It's sour in the middle.
Sour. It's not supposed to taste good. You can go to an actual school for witches and wizards in England.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right, we following this? All right.
Take me on this journey.
So in East Sussex, which I personal aside, Essex, Sussex, this is all too much.
No. Get wild. Can you?
I can't.
British people, calm down.
I don't know. This is crazy. That was probably like when someone made Arkansas and then Kansas. And it's like, why is it not Arkansas? Yeah. Anyway, so UK, y'all wild. But in East Sussex, you too can attend the Bothwell School of Witchcraft. It is a 4-day school in the Hurstmonceau Castle. The castle was built in the 15th century, very Hogwartsy, and it's on 300 acres of land with Elizabethan gardens and a fucking moat.
Oh my God, a moat?
A moat.
For safety?
And it looks stunning. Oh God. That's it. It looks stunning. So when you arrive at Bothwell, you will be sorted into a house.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yeah. That's all we care about.
Who's the good one? And who's the bad one? Because
I don't know.
Into the pussy one.
I think you have to like go and then you find out what's happening. You are also given the option of being a teacher or a student. And you receive character cards. So this is kind of like role-playing games.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, this is where it lost me. I was like, nah, I just want to be myself. But you are encouraged to add your personal characteristics to the character you're playing and to have fun with it.
Okay, I love fun.
Good. Then they'll love you. The lessons that the school teaches range from alchemy to falconry.
Holy shit.
And it ends with a lavish ball and banquet on the final evening in the main hall.
A party?
A party. So ticket packages vary, but a standard ticket is about $713 USD, which covers 3 nights accommodation, all meals, and your robes and a tie.
Ooh, I get a tie, though, okay?
You get a tie, yeah.
Probably worth it.
I mean, falconry.
Next time we get a tax rebate, this is what we'll do.
Okay. If I get money.
Yeah, so maybe next time when I'll save mine and then we'll do it 2021.
Yeah.
After the first woman president is elected. She's crying. And we'll feel like so much could be accomplished and that we deserve to spend $1,400 to go to England for a witchcraft school.
If it's going to cost more than that, we got to get plane tickets.
Okay, but by then I would have married a pilot.
Oh, so it's free. Mm-hmm. How do you meet pilots in New York City? You go to the Guardian.
The only pilots I know about are on The Bachelorette. So maybe one of us should become the Bachelorette, which you can only become the Bachelorette if you're on The Bachelor and you're a fan favorite. So maybe we'll apply for The Bachelor.
Okay. Great. Done. Easy. Anyway, if this is something you're interested in and can afford, you can see our show notes for more information. And also you have to tell us everything about it, especially the goss.
I want to know what the houses are. I want to know who's the hot house, who's the ugly house.
No, I want to know who's hooking up with who, because it's 3 nights, no boundaries. Do they separate boys and girls? I don't know.
Dude, what are they wearing under those robes? Me, you, just a tie?
I think it's supposed to be in like August too, so would that be hot? Does England get hot?
Okay, let's look it up. Okay. August weather averages for London, UK. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius. That's the high. The low is 57 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius.
It's fucking cold.
Yeah, do you guys even have pools? Oh, man, no wonder everyone immigrated to America. Moving into our final segment. Oh, man, take a big stretch. I know you're probably in the middle of your day. Ooh. Reach your hands to the sky. Ooh, reach as tall as you can, as if little strings are holding on to your fingers, reaching towards the sun. And then I want you, as if those rings have been cut, to just let those hands and arms and elbows and shoulders hang loose, like a marionette cut from her captor.
Or like a ditto from Pokemon.
Oh, melted and...
Yeah, like globby.
Globby, yeah.
Yeah, just embrace the glob.
Embrace the glob. And I want you to tilt your head to the left.
Tilt your head to the right.
Like a confused puppy. Tilt your head to the right. Confused about something else. I'm a puppy. I'm confused about a lot of things.
Do the hokey pokey.
Take a deep breath from your belly. And piece it. It's the spell, and Alicia has chosen it for us. She is our shepherd. And what was the spell, Alicia?
Travel safety charm.
Oh, I love safety. I'm all about it.
We love safety. So, I hope y'all are traveling. It's the summer. You should be traveling. If you're not traveling, so just cut it off now. Staycation's fine. Yeah. Be safe in your own neighborhood. So this charm is for safety while traveling. And it's very, very easy. All you need is a turquoise. And what you're going to do is you're going to enchant the turquoise. And this can even be like a necklace or bracelet or a ring. Or it can just be a standalone stone. It doesn't really matter. And what you're going to say is, turquoise strength, turquoise might, protect me on my travels tonight. Wherever I go, wherever I roam, let me be as safe as when at home. So then just keep your turquoise stone in your pocket or wear your turquoise jewelry on holiday. And happy safe travels. And thank you to Tutor Beth for today's spell.
Oh, man, thank you.
If you live in New Mexico, this was very easy for you to do.
Or Arizona.
Those two.
Remember
that like wet desert? No, the West Desert.
What's the wet desert? That's me. Oh, man. And we have a very special thank you for today, which I I was honestly very moved. Each time it happens, I'm very moved.
So we would like to thank John Patterson, who donated to Witch Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
We love him. He's a stay-at-home dad. Hey, Daddy. Engineer by trade, and finds himself a closeted kitchen green witch. Which, I mean, you don't have to be closeted anymore, baby. Come join the coven.
I think that was like my initial introduction to witchcraft in a lot of ways, besides like media and stuff like that, was like, okay, how can I take the thing, like something I'm already doing, and how can I create power and intention and magic and bring it into my own life? And how can I gift that to other people? And that was through baking and cooking. I mean, I don't want to knock any ceremonial witches who love their knives, but I got a soft spot for kitchen witches.
Also, John, we have to say Marcel was very touched and maybe even cried.
Allegedly cried.
Allegedly. No one was there. He says he did, and he's a Cancer. Like, he probably did cry.
The literal text was, make sure he knows that I cried.
But we know our baby producer trying to take all the thunder right now.
Yeah, can you calm down? All right, so this has been Witch Yes, and everyone should message Marcel Pérez, our producer, and wish him a happy birthday.
Even if it's already passed, just wish him happy birthday.
Wish him happy birthday, and wear sunscreen.
Reapply the sunscreen.
And let us know what your numbers are, because Alicia and I are 5s apparently in our life path number. So like, what are you, and are we compatible? Can we be friends? I don't know.
We would like to send our special thanks to our producer Marcel Pérez, our creative director Mallory Porter, our audio editor Mike Bobrinskoy, and Kevin McLeod for our witchy theme song.
And you, remember to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever you get podcasts. We don't advertise, so our podcast grows through word of mouth. Tell your friends, your best friends, your witch friends, your secret friends, and your enemies. And we'll see you soon.
In the DMs.
In the DMs. Your DMs. Because I'm DMing you asking, did you tell your friends?
Because we creepy like that. All right, bye.
Bye. And this has been
Witch Yes.